Hi guys, welcome to today's session, and today we are going to discuss about the Model Tenancy Act. And in this section we'll first see the background of Model Tenancy Act, and then we'll discuss the key features of this particular act called Model Tenancy Act, and then we'll discuss the benefits of the act when it is implemented. So that's how I plan this lesson. Let's now start. The existing rent control laws are restricting the growth of rental housing segment and discourage the landowners from renting out their vacant premises. And this particular draft act of called Model Tenancy Act states that the transparency must be brought into housing sector by fixing the accountabilities of landlords and tenants to promote rental housing at a time when the government is chasing its housing for all by 2020 target, and the policy is not binding on states or union territories since land is a state subject under Indian Constitution, and the policy also does not have any retrospective effect. It means existing rental contracts remain outside the purview of the policy. And if you see the census data, as per the census of 2011, nearly 1.1 crore houses were lying vacant in the country, and making these houses available on rent will complement the vision of our housing for all by 2022. And the existing rent control laws are restricting the growth of rental housing and discourage the owners from renting out their vacant houses due to fear of repossession. So one of the potential measures to unlock the vacant house is to bringing transparency and accountability in the existing system of renting of premises, and to balance the interest of both property owner and tenant in a judicious manner. So that is the intention and aim of this Model Tenancy Act. We'll now discuss the key features of the act. So the new Model Tenancy Act first of all aims to cap security deposit at 2 months rent for housing and 1 month's rent for other properties. However, this cap may hurt landlords in the cities where much larger security deposits have been the norm. For example, in cities, if for a housing purpose, if a flat rent is 25,000 per month, then the landlords may ask for security deposit of 2 lakh, 3 lakh, such higher amounts. So when this act get implemented, they cannot ask such higher amount. The new norm is that 2 months rent as security deposit for housing purpose and 1 month's rent for other properties. So a 2-month security deposit will also not be enough to compensate the landlord if significant damage has been done to the property. And the second point is the act seeks to penalize tenants for refusing to move out of their rental properties after the agreed upon rental period expires. The landlord will be able to claim double of the monthly rent for 2 months and 4 times of the monthly rent after that as compensation. And the act stipulates that landlord cannot refuse to provide essential utilities and access to common facilities. This has been a fairly common grouse of tenants in the past. Landlord will also not be able to increase the rent without giving at least 3 months notice to the tenant, and also cannot increase the rent in the middle of a rental term. And once this Model Act comes into force, no person will be able to let or take on rent any premises except by an agreement in writing. So within 2 months of executing the rental agreement, it will be mandatory for both landlords and tenants to intimate to the rent authority about this tenancy agreement, and the rent authority will within 7 days will issue a unique identification number to both the parties. And after the commencement of this Model Act, a tenant without the prior consent in writing of a landlord won't be able to sublet whole or a part of the premises held by him, or transfer or assign his rights in the tenancy agreement or any part thereof. And the terms of agreement executed between a landlord and his tenant will be binding upon their successors in the event of death of a landlord or tenant. In such a case, the successors will have same rights and obligations as agreed in the tenancy agreement for the remaining period of tenancy. And it also mandates for establishment of rent courts and tribunals, and the rent authority may direct for compensation or the person responsible for cutting off or withholding the essential supply. To ensure speedy redressal of disputes, it proposes to establish rent court and rent tribunal that have to dispose of case within 60 days. And also Act provides for fast track quasi-judicial mechanism for adjudication of disputes. Officer of the rank of deputy collector or higher will act as a rent authority to adjudicate any issue arising out of a rental disagreement. So that are the key features of this Model Tenancy Act. Now we'll see how will the model tenancy law will be beneficial for our society. So as we see in the features, this is a detailed law which will be helpful for both landlords and tenants, and this will encourage private participation in rental housing for addressing the huge housing shortage across the country. And also it provides relief for both tenants and landlords and helps take some load of India's overburdened litigation process. And also it will enable creation of adequate rental housing stock for various income segments of society, including migrants, former and informal sector workers, professionals, students, etc. And it will increase access to quality rental accommodation and enables gradual formalization of rental housing market. And it complements the government's vision of housing for all by 2020. And this will bring transparency and accountability in the existing system of house renting. So that are the benefits of this particular law. Anyways, it is a recent development, and you may please study about this. This can be asked in your mains examination also. So that's it. That's all for today, guys. We'll meet tomorrow with another topic. Thank you for watching this lesson.